David. I don't know what.
Are we?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't go back on language. Look at this like what. So you know that background, and it is Audible, and came through Amazon. Terri has got a new show that which she'll talk about.
If
you know what? Maybe we should turn you around and or why don't you come sit here and so that they because this is going out. A lot of people are looking at it.
as far as
Come here.
oh. Sorry.
Feel free. You can ask me anything.
Oh. Yeah, right. This is good. Right.
No, so
it feels so interactive people and that's.
this is what they're seeing. So I'm like, yeah, come on. Don't let anybody intimidate you. So let's give a little pricey on what you're up to and what you advice you. They all.
I read everything I've learned in my time in the business. No. These are just a few things that I wish somebody had told me. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Okay, number one, it's not about finish it. Okay, I know you're all writing something and you're wondering, does anybody care? Does anybody want it? But it has to be finished. Finishing is the most important thing. If you don't finish it, then it is crap. When you finish it and you think you're ready to show it to somebody, make sure that it is in the best possible shape that it can be in. Because you will only get one chance for that person to read it. But don't give them the first 20 pages. Don't give them your idea. Don't give them your pitch. Don't give them your treatment. Give them a script that is the script that you think can be shot tomorrow. I don't want, but I'm saying, treat that person with the respect you're giving them the thing that you think is done, completely done, knowing that you only might get that one chance.
Don't just run spell check.
Yes, check your spell, check your continuity. Do the whole thing. If you change the name, make sure all names are consistent. You don't want to send an email the next day. You don't read the draft I just sent you. Read this one. You don't want to do that. This really works. Okay. If you do that and you say to somebody, I want your honest opinion, then you can accept that honest opinion. The reality is that when people send their script, all they want is praise. That is why I don't send my script to anyone unless they're paying for them. I'm just saying, be aware that saying to somebody, I want your honest opinion, to the right person will give it to you. And you might find some helpful stuff there. Just don't be bummed if it's not like, oh my God, you're just like, you got to get this for Lawrence right away. This is just the other thing that I think is good to know is that rejection is inevitable. Rejection is a guarantee. And I was just heard a story the other night from somebody who happens to know Tom Stoppard. I know Tom Stoppard, right? But they were telling me that Tom Stoppard wasn't getting a call back from the director for 10 weeks. If Tom Stoppard isn't getting a call back, we got to know that we aren't getting a call back, and we got to be like, it's not about us, particularly just.
About Tom Stoppard.
It's about, I'm just saying, it's the whole range. It's us to that. And don't, as much as possible, don't take it personally. I have to say that is bullshit advice coming from me because I take it personally all the time. And my shrink told me that I have extreme rejection sensitivity, which I really was like, it's entitled to be this upset. My rejection sensitivity is extreme. And then I was telling that to somebody and said, everybody has that. Okay, I know, but he doesn't really like that.
Good person.
All right, this is my writing tips. Okay, make your stage directions funny. Just have fun with them. Don't feel like they have to be, just straight like this person exits or this person. And also, I might just be aware of a Twitter feed called script intros. I want you just to, you know about this? Okay. Yes. So it's only about women. If you're writing a description of a woman, you don't want it to be on this feed. She's a breathtaking young woman, a vision of natural beauty. Jane, mid-20s, indeterminate ethnicity and high school beauty. Jane, black hair, undeniable beauty. Jane, early 40s, a natural beauty, the girl next door type. Okay, so what I'm saying, it's all kind of like, she has to be some kind of beautiful, try to remember that women are reading these scripts and that we want to be patient, as interesting and complex as men are, and it should just be about what level of beauty they have, and whether or not they know they have that level of beauty. Know where you are going. Don't start writing a script unless you know what the end is. Think of the usual suspects, the example of a script that makes you want to go back and see the movie again. I think that is probably a mistake because we get a good idea and we start writing and we get 60 pages in and we spend 60 pages in and 60 pages is actually the wall. Just in case any of you have that experience, it's the wall. And if you know where you're going, if you know what the ending is, I think you can get over the wall. If you don't, it might send you back to start. And yeah, do you have a question?
Yeah, because I've heard this a lot. Expertise, when you say that, like, should we know the end of the entire series before writing?
I don't think that you can. Some people do. I don't know how they do that. I feel like if you know the end of the entire series, you don't really allow yourself to discover what the series can be.
Although it's her loss, right? They had.
Okay, I mean, but Lindelof was very upfront about how bad he feels. Like, okay. I think that it's in the case of TV because things are a lot of times done in 13 episodes. It's probably good to know where you want to end at that 13 episodes. But I'm basically just thinking, 13 episodes, first season. Yeah, don't be like, I mean, if you have amazing science fiction, whatever, and then you want to say, but it's all a snow globe at the end, then, you know, maybe it's, I don't know how to write that stuff. So I can't advise you about that, because I never know more than 5 in my novel. I'm very much about personal knowledge. Obviously, I stick a lot of teenage girls, because I think teenage girls are particularly interesting. I don't think it's bad to have something that you specialize in, and I do think that there's a particular market if you can say, this is my story, because then they feel like only you can tell it. I think that's something that gets a lot of attention. And just in terms of, I think every scene needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. Read a scene. Sometimes I think if you're writing it and you don't, it's just going on and on, you don't know how to get out of it, that means that scene is really not about something. So make sure that scene is about something, it starts, something happens, and there's a natural way out. It's a good way to shape a scene. Okay, job interview. You're getting, I don't know why people don't know this. I recently had some job interviews. I thought it was incredible how basic I think this. When you go on for a job interview on a show, you don't just like the show. You love the show. You relate to the show. This show is like you have a notebook with questions and ideas. You know, it's not, I'm saying you're not interesting, you're very interesting. They are going to want to say they can spend 20 hours a day in a room with you, but the first thing when you go in is like, you want this job, not a job, this job, on this show, for this reason. Apologize for being obsessed with it. If it's like a showrunner who is Battlestar Galactica, you know Battlestar, just go in there wanting this particular job and proving it by having ideas, proving it by having questions, just, you know, just be, you cannot compliment. We're writers, you know what it's like. We can't be complimented enough, right? So if another writer doesn't do it, then it's basically the people who are hired.
I did tell someone who was the show that had a particularly awful character on that show who stole her husband.
What's up?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
So, and I said, I think she's pregnant now. I think she's just a hit character. I think she's died of childbirth. That was it. Get out!
Yeah, really. I mean, that
You like that character.
No, I hate her.
I was right. I was right.
I love it.
I said, she stole Reba's husband.
well, I mean, you hate her, great. You hate her because she's such a great, like, antagonist. But I don't know. I just feel like, well, on my most recent job, which was a job for Disney, and I told you this story, and I told you this story, so I apologize, but I found the writers that I really liked, and then the Disney executives wanted to meet them. And the Disney executives set a little trap for these writers. And they said to them, if you could change something about the pilot. So I'm in the room listening to what they would change about the pilot. They're in this room being interviewed because they love the pilot. And if they come into the room, they can answer that question. I don't know if I love that so much anymore. But obviously, the Disney executives, they want to hear something. So I'm just going to say, if you get stuck in that little trap of what would you change, you can have the joke of everything. I would change everything. When it's perfect. I love it just the way it is. And so that's that's one way to sort of sidestep that question. You can apologize for your one idea that you might have. Just like this is just a little thing, I mean, I don't even know if you need it, but maybe this. You can do that. What you can't do is what this one girl did. She came in and she had been all up in my face about how much she loved the pilot and how many ideas she had. And she was super sweet and I really liked her. And she came in and she pitched a whole, and I've never enjoyed any experience like this. And she, it was one of those things, she's left, like, she left totally thinking she had the job. I don't know why she said that. I'm going to say, as far as what's out there now, I think there's a whole landscape. I don't really even know everything. I mean, to say that web series are becoming TV shows, that's obvious. I see on Deadline Hollywood all the time people being hired as head of TV content. I would Google that online, find out who these people are who are head of TV content now for various actor production companies. Everybody is looking for content. I mean, when I was in Utah, I found that Brigham Young University has they have a production company. It's not for Mormons, it's not for the school, it's just 4 people in a room with millions of dollars. And apparently, if you go in there with an idea, you will walk out with a TV show. That's what I was told in Utah. I'm just like saying, yeah, you would have to go to Utah. You would presumably have to have something sort of upbeat. But, they produced a show called Granite Falls, which was picked up by Netflix. I'm just saying, people out there. I heard the story of somebody who got a job because they did a Virgin America safety video. Safety video was funny, and that was not a calling card. Just be aware that people want to work with new writers. And I'm just going to say there are a lot of programs. Disney has a program where they call the Storytellers, all new writers. They're all new pilots. 2 of those pilots got made. 1 of them is on the air. Everybody has a program. They're looking. This is going to be one. They're looking for diversity, man. I mean, I just feel like there is a need for voices that, for whatever reason, they're trying really hard, and they haven't. Going to some of you.
I think it comes from the point where you said first.
Yeah. Luckily, women are still considered. And just finally, never think that you know everything. Never even think that you know everything about the thing that you wrote. Always be able to listen. Always be able to learn. Always be open. And just don't shut out the person who's trying to help you. Or even if they're idiots. Even if you're listening to them and what they're saying just is like, you thought of it, you dealt with it, it's wrong. Whatever they're saying, perfectly free to ignore it. Just listen and treat people with respect and be open to it and make that person feel like they're interesting and smart. Because that is how everybody wants to think. So gosh, that's not very much that I've learned in my career. But that's all I wrote down. If I can call you, right? But there's something else. Okay.
Well, let's move over to publishing.
All right, but I want to, there were a couple things that I didn't prepare. So, but
I'm going to get that.
Yeah. I have written down, listen. I want to back up that branch, so there's 2 little items of that. And one of them was listen, don't talk. But just because I now in my life mostly, interviewing people, working with writers, supposed to write myself. And the truth of the matter is that this isn't just about jobs. This is really life. I mean, everybody basically is much more interested about talking and listening. And they're more interested in their life than your life, even if they're doing you. So you can somehow find to keep that by making people feel good.
Google them and you research them and you know what they did.
Yeah, I mean, I was before coming to Audible, I was running some of the little singles, and one of the team was such a key one when we interviewed people for jobs was like, what was your favorite Kindle single? And it was just amazing to me how many people got it one. And, it's like something. Because like, gee, what about you compare? Just listening is super important. And then the only other thing, just back to remind me of something you told me recently, which was when you were saying you write from yourself. And I really believe that basically we're all forever just writing about ourselves, whether we are or not. I mean, that made me think of that story about, Terri got a story a zillion years ago about being sober. At the time he wrote Sex Lives and Videotape, which was his first movie, and if you've never seen it, it's amazing. And I didn't realize it's the next to last thing he ever wrote, because he didn't believe that he was a particularly good writer. And there was something about how he described that the 4 characters that are in that movie were all basically subdivided portions of him, and he thought they had a particular interest that probably wasn't going to work. But in reality, I would have thought that because he obviously now knows better than us. That's all any of us are ever doing, is taking ourselves and dividing up to chunks of our characters. And I guess that leads me to not only top of my list, but maybe the only thing on my list as far as what I advise writers to do, and that is to be honest. Well, there's really 2 elements to that, but basically being honest. I guess I would connect that to the fact that I think that I look for as an editor, and the number one thing I respond to is the number one thing that we all respond to, and that is emotion. I think it's what editors look for, what producers look for, what audiences look for. They're always looking to be moved and have some experience that causes us to change our view of from where we were when we first sat down. Otherwise, why would we bother? We want to go someplace. Somebody take us somewhere where we hadn't been before. That was the case with us. I actually got here when I was looking around for a book idea. And this editor said to me, just your job, if you can take me somewhere where I have A, never been before, and B, that there is nobody else on the planet who can take me there but you, then you've got a book idea. Honestly, I've got a piece of advice. I mean, just every idea I ever had, just not measure against that. And frankly, that's why I want to write it. I frankly couldn't come up with it. I wanted the problem. I lived at the West Side. We had 2 kids. I didn't want to leave the Upper West Side for that. So how was I going to take people somewhere they couldn't get to any other way but through me? And I was going to do that and stay on the Upper West Side. So it turned out to be impossible. I actually managed to write 2 entire books that were set on the West Side of Manhattan. Kind of an amazing thing. One was about a restaurant. You can change your salad. Yeah. But at a certain point, you just have to run out. But the fact is, every writer I've ever met, somewhere in their experience, something that happened, or some moment, or some experience, or some life event, and no one else they know has ever occurred to anything like it. And that, to me, is the root of the great idea. Deep inside of yourself, the more likely it is you're going to find something that will be the germ of the thing that will blow everybody away. So that's what I tell people. And sometimes it ends up in my case, I had fiction and non-fiction. Sometimes it takes the shape of memoir. If somebody's led a crazy, wild enough life, that story is inside of them, and they can just tell their own story. But more often than not, it ends up in fiction. And, imaginary, but it's true because it's true that person's life and their experience. That's true of terrorism.
You speak specifically about how the Amazon family works, like Audible and ebooks.
Yeah.
Because my mentor here is that I'm looking for storytellers, and that's why they're here, because they told stories. This one told me a story about growing up in okay. So I'm a couple. I mean, they all different stories, and that's why they're here. And they weren't just the pilot scripts, they were short stories and personal adventures. So that's why I wanted, nature.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll just briefly say that I started as a writer and I had that rejection.
Extreme rejection.
Sensitivity. I was very, I should mention, I don't think that a very small amount of television writing, and I developed that as my writing partner. That's what my first experience. I wanted to find. I mean, I do think that myself including, I'm sure all of you, we look for the somehow consciously or unconsciously for that path to praise. I realized pretty early I was praise and it had to happen, and I was just going to find the fastest route to it. So, this idea didn't work. I was going to find another. I just always kept a long list of ideas, and I'm sure you guys do this, but walking around with one of these in a notebook is absolutely essential for some version of this to, every idea that you have written down. One other thing I was going to say about interviews and meetings and stuff, write it down. Make it look like you want to remember everything people say. If you're in a meeting or just say, and I just nobody's ever going to object it. If you say, that was really great, do you mind just take a second and write that down? No one will ever write it down. How we never it's written down. And however, they will notice you're not writing it down. So I have a lot of friends that everybody I'll say, come on for notes, maybe my thoughts, and I'll just sit there for 5 minutes. I'll be spewing away some brilliant edits and that's just sitting there. You're not going to remember it. And it's really hard when you're going, but you can't, I guess you can. It's hard for me to say, write it down. You're not going to remember this. And then, of course, the next chapter come in and you don't have to. So, write it down. Because you're going to forget. I mean, if you're anything like me, you're going to forget it. But anyway, so yes, I became an editor because I prefer to respect the work of others and my own. It just means looking out your window. And so it's a very long, circuitous story involving, being fired a few times and various failures. I would say also part of the lesson of life that I learned was it's not the down moments. I mean, it is. There are plenty of them you're going to have. But the main thing to learn how to do is to, you're going to fall into a hole. The best thing is to figure out how to crawl out of the hole. It took me a long time to figure that out. As long as you're proactive and engaged and not something badly enough, you can get there as long as you don't let things get you down. I mean, it sounds a little.
But we do have that option. It is possible to write yourself out of a hole. Not that many people, sometimes they have to wait for something to happen, but writers have that gift. They can write themselves out of their hole.
Yes, I mean, actors, if you get to the job, they can sit in their apartment and act their guts out, and nobody really can care. And frankly, it's true with editors. My job, I can't sit around home and edit myself. Writers have that fantastic ability of being able to write anytime, anywhere, without anyone necessarily paying them. It's a fantastic benefit to oh, yes, I became an editor. I eventually at Amazon started this program called Kindle Singles, which is basically a very, ended up being a very cool opportunity for a lot of writers who had very little to no experience. Amazon has started a self-publishing platform called Kindle Direct Publishing. Basically, this allows anyone to publish Amazon. You go home tonight and publish a book on Amazon in 5 minutes. I mean, nobody would see it probably immediately. Well, eventually, I mean, but it's no reason not to do it. I mean, there's probably billions of books on Amazon now that have been self-published. It sounds crazy. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you can't yourself think, I'll never get spotted, I'll never get seen. I just had this argument today about a project that I've been trying to develop, where I really had to just make the case, look, this is just going to be really, really good. And people find really, really good things. That is not just a theory of mine. That's something that I've seen over and over. And then we post this story that no one had ever heard of. And, just out of the blue, suddenly 5,000, 10,000 copies sold. They're paying, 7% royalty on every copy they sell. So, I mean, these repeat, $1.99, $2.99. But the ebook revolution has really created just a gigantic opportunity for people. And also it gives you a chance, if you do it, it's work. You can circulate the work at least among everyone you know, to begin with and get comments, reviews. Amazon, they have reviews, so you get not only but also very straightforward with and negative reviews from everybody. And I know there's a school of thought that don't believe your reviews, don't think about your reviews, because you believe that positive reviews, you believe in negative reviews. So people say, read reviews, they don't care about reviews. I don't know, I'm a believer in that. I'm a believer in getting your work read and getting a comment and by people that you don't necessarily know. Because, we're all writing to be heard by other people. So if we don't, and we don't solicit the opinion of other people, sooner or later we're going to get screwed because other people are going to weigh in whether we like it or not. If we get anywhere close to the goal that we want to be at, being seen and heard and enjoyed. So unfortunately, you have to listen to it. I spoke pretty early on that Terri was extremely blessed with a great deal of talent and could somehow manage to function without any of these rules. But she is so much the exception. I mean, if you're blessed with so much talent,
that's sweet.
Yeah. I coax them out of the publishing of the magazine industry and to come to the show. Do it. We did a show called Doctor, and they were on the staff. We had a great time. The second year, they were actually the call. They said, you have to give them separate offices because they cannot work together. So,
well, they started off every day and they put these two desks facing each other.
Some people can collaborate and some people can't. I just think that's a good thing to know. I can't. I just think it's a good thing to know about yourself. Can you sit and actually listen to somebody else? Can you hear somebody else doing, collaborate? It's a beautiful thing. They get things done much faster. I believe that it's attractive, you're getting 2 for the price of 1. Who doesn't like that? But I just, I just found out, wasn't good at that.
No, but you can still function in a writer's room.
Yeah, writer's room is a
Yeah, it's different. So let's open this up to questions.
You want to form stuff.
Some of us might take it upon themselves. Like I write a partner that isn't in the program.
Oh, that's yeah. It can really help if you are capable of doing it.
Go ahead, yeah, question.
We're more than happy to talk about how the 3 of us were
we're all roommates, we write together every Monday. We work on our own shows at work. One day. One day.
It doesn't have to be one. I mean, so
It is.
the bar and the grocery.
You are working on things that you have a plan for, like web series? Or
Yeah, that's a web series, yeah.
Starring
Starring ourselves, it's kind of probably on ourselves. Okay,
Okay, I think that could work. Yeah, I mean, I think it has worked, you know, definitely. Brought this started.
exactly.
And I have some friends at UCB who do their own thing and they're very younger, so. Yeah, but yeah, people do get their stuff listed out there.
It's just great. I mean, I just saw the you only get one chance in life to make mistakes without anybody. Don't happen. And that is like the most incredible thing. You don't realize until after you should do.
Yeah.
Do. I mean, I wish I had that opportunity. We were in a position of just, they didn't have, they were not ways to make television shows or publish things without other people saying yes to them. We somehow get a yes for it. But that's gone away. So we do have to figure out the tool.
So, but what are some of the steps one should take to get published on? Is it Audible or?
Well, I was going to say about that several minutes. It's so pretty different. But anyway, more of an opportunity to sort of help what you had, at least what you're doing now. But there's lots of. It's actually we have one of the it was a completely open submission system. So they can send in and they'll send it to Amazon.com. Those editors were being reviewed. And we created a lot of democratic system as we could, and I think we ended up I was this year did 1,400 singles, over 100 of things that just came in with the phrase over the transom. That was the phrase. Basically means unsolicited, listed, no one knew was coming, never heard any person was at it, and thought it was like, so it was exciting. A lot of people's lives got completely changed having their first work accepted. So, and there's a lot of singles was not anywhere close to the opportunity that exists now. There's tons. I mean, this is early writer story. I mean, it's a great magazine called America. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's just a fantastic place for short fiction, more poetry, short plays. Also, there's a lot of that now. And that's just one example. I could probably put together a list. What I'm doing at Audible is a little different in that we're trying. I don't know how much anything what Audible is, but it's been around for about 20 years. It was mostly at that time a retailer of audiobooks. But in the last 3 or 4 years, ever since somebody discovered you can stick your head in your phone into your iPhone, basically it just changed everything except things all the time. And the audiobook industry just blew up. And suddenly there's audio dramas, serial dramas, and podcasts, and every different kind of thing imaginable. And so it's kind of, it's again really just incredibly democratized system of people being able to create and you can find them to iTunes and get free. What we're doing Audible is basically trying to monetize that so that people can actually because you're secret podcasts doing they're more basically become hobbies for people and they get bored because you're not making content. So what we're doing is paying to write and stories, short content like half hour, 20 minutes to an hour. That we offer free through channels, which is sort of the free part of our service. Anybody who's doing Amazon gets that for free. Or that we offer for sale, and then it's like basically selling a book where you get an advance and then you get royalties. Because so you're reaching fewer people, you're actually making money. I'm on the making money side of this. For writers, because I just for that. I think that other who needed money for a long time. I just somehow feel like it's hard to pay rent with like the number of listeners. So that's the problem with the internet stuff. Like, that is the way to make yourself publish. It really is really hard to do that with this clip. And there are a lot of other opportunities. Really are. I'm really very open discovering learning and getting a job. So there's some people who idea from idea that you got to think is special with work as a. I mean, it's a different muscle in television because you have to write it to the imagination a little bit. You're getting in people's heads, and you have to. But you also have to avoid people. There's a tremendous amount of expository. Oh gosh, your red hair looks so good today, because you're just the writer's always thinking they have to add in extra because they can't see it. I don't think that's so true. I mean, people have been telling stories. It's homework, it's just been read out loud. So I think people understand. So actually, I think a great time in the sort of audio world for dramatic storytelling, not too much TV. Good.
So, like, as far as, did you work together, all the time you were writing for, television shows like Lizzie McGuire, and you came together, you both created together?
No.
Not at all. No.
Collaboration ended. It started and ended very quickly.
With, that process, creating, and then pitching it, and then on screen, how did that process go?
I would say that every process, there is no lesson to be learned from one person's process or one show's story, because every single one of them is different. In the case of Lizzie McGuire, that was a dead pilot at ABC that my agent sent over the Disney Channel, and they were like, "Oh, we love this. We want to completely write it for the Disney Channel." So the dead pilot and the Lizzie McGuire pilot had no relationship. The plus for me out of that was that things can come from anywhere. It's like you just. It's like whatever you score, you're passionate, you work really hard on, and I think that's a great thing, and that might be the thing that happens, but in my experience, it's always been the thing that came from nowhere. I just was like, the Disney Channel, I don't watch the Disney Channel, they had nothing on but cartoons at the time. It was the first live action thing. I had no idea that that was going to be like the lead of my obituary. It was like one of those complete, those are truly random, and that's what I think when I say you can write yourself out of the hole, you don't even know what it is. It's going to be the thing that the person reads that becomes just unfortunate not to be able to follow a map. But it's also what's fortunate too. I think that's both ways. I don't know if that's the first one.
Well, you mentioned script agent. Usually your agents have to go with Disney.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays I'm sure we're constantly told like it's agents. Well, even so, it's possibly
Yeah, they're assholes.
How should we like?
You
How do I get? I want to get right here get that one.
A, I wouldn't be chasing podcast network, but B, I mean, I think that I don't even know all the different ways that you can do it, because I do think there are so many, but I mean, the first one is get a manager. I story where I met a lawyer who was representing a script that became extant. This guy was writing for trade magazines, and he wrote a spec script, and it became the highest bidding. Halle Berry had herself, and you know, he was a prime example. Didn't know what the ending was, but you know, I'm just saying it was like straight on CBS. Just again, completely out of nowhere. It was a lawyer who told it, and I don't know how he was the one who read the script. It just might have been, you know, somebody gave it him. It's so completely random, but I really would waste time, no time. Just look at it.
I mean, this. I mean, I know it's not the only model, but it's the high maintenance model. Operative, really great way to get noticed. Yeah. I mean, that skips like 800.
Yeah, but that's it, yeah, of course.
Because it's like, here's what I can do, here's what I can get. You know, and it's great. And so, you know.
Well, but not that I say, do you know how many episodes there are?
Yeah, that was great. Just, well, you know, look, this is it, what you create. That's good. I mean, like, that's the part, like, that's the thing. You know, what I've taught for years too, and I'm sure you know, so if you want nobody to teach you imagination, I mean, that's what you bring to this room before you ever got here. You have that. There's no creative thing. Really cool. I mean, your own imagination.
Well, but what you also have to do it again and again.
Yeah.
There has to be more than one.
But I'm just saying, you
Like I
know,
can see.
the model that we got the business under, which was, you know, getting an agent, and we only got an agent because you got us a job, and then it's your out to represent anybody who already has a job. But it really comes to that, I think, almost exclusively. Yeah. And
Yeah, you'll find an agent who have a job.
because
They won't be like calling you.
it's such a process of getting out.
Agents listening to this right now, are you said we're going out to the world, there are no agents listening to us.
They're all yeah.
I'm sure.
It's that.
Hi, do you find festivals still beneficial for the writer?
Festivals, do you mean like a Sunday, that kind of thing? I think, boy, if I could get into a festival, that would be great. I've never been to one, but I think, yeah, 1 month festivals are ways to see work. You don't even have to be accepted to the festival. You can go to the festival and arrange for one screening and get, you know, noticed that way. I just have been working in television, have never tried the festival kind of route.
I actually think it goes back to what I was saying about being a creative junkie. Anything you do to make yourself feel good along the way of becoming a successful writer, such as yourself in festivals, and, you know, getting recognition, getting people saying, yeah, that's good, keep going. And even if it doesn't translate immediately into money, it's going to translate into motivation.
People are to see it, and you don't know who's going to see it, who might be like, that's a movie. Your short film is an idea, you know, whatever. It's just completely, again, the path. And when it appears.
You truly never know. And it's often, I mean, again, I've often found that, you know, it's the thing that you sometimes least expect to take off is to take off. And the thing you think is an absolute surefire is not. And on that thing, you think it's going to be hit. You think it's going to be hit because it's similar to something that's been done before. So you just assume, you know, oh, this has got a girl in the title, for example. 50% of the way there, the girl. expert to be surprised. That's show, give them something I've never seen before. And that's so much of a better way to get noticed.
It's always good to have two things. If someone likes one thing, and they'll often go, what else do you have? So it's really good to be able to handle something else. That's why writing is like this, the famous writing. You just sit at the typewriter until little drops of blood are on your forehead. It's like, it's really hard and lonely and agonizing, and it's so upset when somebody says to me, I write to relax. Or writing calms me down, or just whatever, anyone who says they enjoy writing, I don't speak to them. So, FYI.
I mean, that thing in your hip pocket. I was just listening to an interview with Rachel. It was incredible. She did that. She was trying to use it in the theater. It wasn't working out. She just decided with a friend to make these YouTube videos, songs. And she puts up and stuff just blows up. So she gets agents actually calling her. And they go, well, no, if you had a sex script, we could probably get out. Well, turns out she had a sex script. I mean, in addition to everything else she had done, she had one tough day for something or other, just for the rainy day, then the agent playing color on and so a week after this, we took a look at a job on each show. I didn't know it was like an insane story. I won't have to go that way ever again. But
Mike, there's no reason to
good idea. I mean, that's really great advice. I mean, have always have something ready. Never know. If you write scripts, that's an addition to.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Or write a visual
No, you.
Yeah, I think this next one we're a lot better. Yeah.
one thing I just think is valuable anymore is a text based on a existing series. I don't think you read those anymore. I think they want to see the original idea. I think they want to discover a new talent. I think people are, like you were saying, they are so hungry for something they haven't seen. And they are not afraid of people who haven't run TV shows anymore. That used to be a scary thing, and now it's kind of like, we'll find you somebody, or, you know, and that worked out. You know, I just think they're not scared of that. They want that script. You know, they want Atlanta to show up. They want. I think there's just a desire to be suddenly at the Golden Globes with your, you know, show after like 4 months being like. That's all such a fantasy, but it's just that it's happening. You know, fantasies are happening. That's why I think it's don't bother with the networks, man. The networks are going to make. I mean, there's still so many hoops that you have to jump through there.
Well, by networks, you mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't. I think there's places that are slowly, and the places you're still going to be known to death, and they just haven't figured it out yet. They're not fast, they're not agile, but a lot of other places are, and more all the time. You know, it's like these networks that are on your cable dial, like WGN, which was in Chicago, you know, suddenly is doing like the greatest shows on television. It's like, into WGN with an actual quality piece of material, and it just then became, I've got my DVR.
His strategy is like, find the channel that doesn't have any original programming yet. Like maybe Home Shopping Network is break it to the world that's original. Go to them. You know, find a market that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, because I mean, it's all new to Bravo, it's all new to E, it's all new to so many different places, and they don't have it, or they don't want to have the people in place who are going to just make you vision. They want that quirky thing. They want that thing that isn't
anyplace else. And
You also have the great advantage of being cheaper than anybody else in Hollywood.
yeah, like that is, you cannot estimate the value that my entire staff is like staff. Like I got one person who worked on the show, and it was just like staff writers. So don't feel like a disadvantage.
No, it's a huge advantage.
And if you have something tattooed on you that you can show, you might want to think about that. I'm kidding. I just was like, I'd go in Game of Thrones with that.
All right, what are any other questions?
I just want to ask you, for Disney, did you find it creatively stimulating, or did you find that you had to really kind of work to get Disney's view of what they're looking for in their market?
This particular experience that I had was amazing. They were so good to stuff. I mean, you do have to be aware that you can't do, rehab or drugs, alcohol, the problems that you can have. But the story of this particular pilot, did you tell them what it is?
No, I didn't want to.
Okay, the story of this particular pilot, they said to me that they wanted something that would push the boundaries for them, and so I pitched them basically the Jack Nicholson story. I don't know the Jack Nicholson story, but it's a 13-year-old girl who finds out that her sister is actually her mother. Out of the box for Disney, there's like it does imply unprotected teenage sex, and we don't actually discuss it, but it's there as a fact of life. And then just the emotional trauma, I've been able to look into that. And I like writing mother-daughter stuff. That's my particular. I mean, they were saying, whatever. I also don't go. I just don't. And I just really find that being a daughter and being a mother, there's just endless amounts of material. That's what I focus on writing. So this was a good opportunity for me to write the thing. They were. We'll see what happens, right? If it goes on the air, which will be March 10th on YouTube. The first episode will be on YouTube, and then on Disney Channel on April. So it's called Andy Mac for it, and don't tell anybody.
What was the original Lizzie McGuire?
Dead pilot.
Yeah. But then my other question. Go for it.
It was the real me. You like it better than I do. It was for 15-year-old girls. It was. It sounds so stupid now. It was Sex and the City for teenagers, right? That's how we used to pitch things. Embarrassed. That's what it was. It was 4 teenage girls. And they're very emotional. I think teenage girls are the most interesting people in the world because they do not know. Thank you, but it's the best. It's the worst. It's the best. It's the worst. Everything is like so dramatic, and every day nobody's ever had this feeling. Nobody knows what it feels like. And so it's like you don't know what it's like to feel this horrible feeling, and that's why I like writing girls. Their emotions are huge, and they don't listen to anybody.
So after Disney picked up Lizzie McGuire, and then you got staff writers, and then executives had to sit in and determine and interview people.
I actually didn't. So embarrassing. I actually didn't run Lizzie McGuire. I had a pilot that was picked up that same year, and it was with Gina Davis, and it was kind of like you have to do the Gina Davis pilot. So if you're watching the episodes of Lizzie McGuire thinking, yes, it's such a good show, I can only take credit for 2 episodes. The rest of it was run
by a person I would never in a million years have thought I could trust the show to, but he did hire young female writers, and
But he could suggest a
yes. That's right. I was very, very opposed to the animation element, and I also insisted, the one thing I wouldn't change was the title of the show. I was not going to change the title, which was None of the Above. That was the title, and I loved it, and everybody said that's depressing. And we're going to Lizzie McGuire. Yeah, but who knew?
But that's the animation thing has always stuck in my mind, what I was saying earlier about, listening to other people, projecting other people. It sounded crazy, it sounded like it would never really work, it made no sense, and ultimately,
Yeah. I know.
It wasn't it. You had one good idea.
So, I mean, just like down to like the new stuff, when you were running the show, the days and you had some staff writers, what like a day-to-day type of?
Well, let me tell you about the more recent thing, because it actually has changed a lot. I do think that people are trying to run rooms smaller. We had, in the Gina days, it was like a dozen people at least. It just became unwieldy. It was a show, I had a staff of 5, and a writer's assistant and script coordinator, so 7 people in the room. And really is about listening and accepting ideas, not being the person who says, no, I don't like that, no, you can't do that, no, you have to be yes, you'll be yes and. You have to just be like, sometimes it's hard, but people, the way a writing room works now is that you sit in there, you tell your most intimate, emotional stories, things you would never tell your parents or your husband or anybody, but you tell the strangers. You just sit there and pour all this stuff out, and then we take it and we put it in shut. It's a crazy, it's like a group therapy session, and that's how I think, that's how writing rooms are working, at least in my experience. My last 2 were.
Getting a taste of it.
Yeah. Do you guys sit around and tell you're really like, that's those ugly, like, yeah.
Aside from the names, I don't even know these.
I just think it's fascinating. You gotta just give that stuff up, and you want to. You want to talk about it, and you want to see it. You want to see it represented. And I think that's the thing about being writers. God damn it, nobody's ever gone through this horrible thing. And then you put it out there and you find out everyone has. It's like you think you're alone, and you find out you're not. That's the beauty of it. Yeah.
Okay, so I have 2 questions actually. One, okay, I feel a little bit less like a freak because I'm not good at collaborating either. In a writer's room, we're starting off at the same spot with the point pitching is, I'm either that thing that I've been developing in my own head for a long time. I feel like collabing because that's so I'm being navigate where you're expected to collaborate with other people and you're not very good at it. How do you navigate that? So obviously, even as a showrunner, you still have to listen to people's ideas about.
Yeah, but like you said, it's different. You're listening to ideas and you're trying to figure out stories. That's totally different than actually sitting down and writing dialogue. That's where I can. I like incorporating stories, and I like shaping the seasons with all these ideas and voices. My problem is I have to sit and write a script with them. I couldn't do it. And, I think it's a handicap. I think it's a skill if you
know how to do it, but I also feel like know yourself. You know what I mean? Don't try to be what you're not. If you know that you get listen to another person's voice on something that you hear, don't feel bad about it. It's okay. It's totally okay. You have your voice and you know your voice and you don't want to have to compromise. That's what it always felt like to me. Yeah, so honestly, it's sometimes very difficult when I get scripts from the other writers. Really, I'm learning. That's what I mean about it. It's a constant process. I'm learning how to let other people's voices be part of the show. But that's advanced moments fiber.
My second question, you kind of touched on it, but my second question is, when you're having to listen to other people's ideas, and like you said about like major networks, you don't want your idea to distill down to something that's a carbon copy of an existing show. If you're afraid of something not selling, they want the guarantee, that they'll make money. You're listening to other people's ideas. How do you know? How do you politely draw the line where it's like, okay, you're going off on a tangent that's so out of touch with what the show's supposed to be about, versus shutting people down and not being receptive to their ideas. How do you where do you draw that line? How do you that they're going off on a tangent that really is so relevant to, is really just the direction that the show's not to go in.
But who's making that decision? That's your feeling. That's your strong feeling. And I understand that feeling. But I have found that if you can quiet that part of yourself that's saying that's not where it's supposed to go, I have found that there are sometimes there is something at the end of that idea that you incorporate. Don't forget, shows have to be big, right? They can't be this one little thing that, you thought of. You need a world. You need other characters. These characters have to go and do things. It's really important to be able to just, as much as it might be in your head, like it's like bees in there. It's buzzing. I can't listen to it. It's just, you can listen to it. There's sometimes a great benefit. And it's, this is a large room. This is larger than any room I've worked in a long time. I have trouble if I had to listen to every single person pitch. But at the same time, I feel like there's the possibility that somebody's going to take you something to, except for their way of seeing it. So, don't. Sorry. No, that's okay. I'm like down to this little bit of water. The water be on the screen.
The best idea. I think that's you can kind of go into things with that attitude and not secretly think that your idea is the best idea.
I once did a story about as Wick Marshall, you probably don't know that, but they were the most famous writing team. They've done a show called 30-something. They're actually in Nashville now. And they taught me the rule of the greater passion. And that's sometimes if you are collaborating with somebody and get to a point that you don't agree on, the person who feels the strongest, and there will always be one who will feel more strongly than the other, that person wins. You can't fight forever. To fight forever, I think that's the person you gotta go. I think they win. They just win. It's hard. It's hard to do it. But I thought that was kind of great. It meant that you weren't fighting all day, every day. So
I don't know, I just think, try not to feel no. Try to get rid of no.
But that rule really helps because that rule has become so important to me that I actually thought that it was my idea. I remember this was 20 years ago, and I've since convinced myself that I lived with something saying that I really didn't agree with. Doing it, but I had to do this kind of, I don't care enough about this particular thing that I'm not going to project. And I forced myself to shut up and let her have her way. You know, I didn't agree because I just wasn't more passionate. It really works. I mean, it's just a great way to work with other people.
Yeah, I'm not saying now you all have to fight your asses off or something, but you know, you'll know that kind of thing.
That's the thing. You really do.
Question for you, actually. So you read a lot of different type of content, different mediums. Have you ever seen something like one medium but thought it was better than another? Have you ever seen this short story that like, well, it's a television show, or have you met other editors in situations if they take someone's story but send it to a different place to transform it?
I have had an opportunity to be able to execute on that. Like that is the form that should be. I mean, you know, people. All we think is that people will have such incredible ear for dialogue. I mean, like I've worked with a lot of nonfiction writers who are, you know, journalists who interview people, and they just have these incredible ability to quote people just lure away. And it's weird because you think, well, they're writing down what people actually said, but there's sort of this ear involved in that. And those writers I've encouraged to move into writing around because they just obviously have this rhythm. But once somebody could maybe go beyond just writing nonfiction and really write drama or plays or poetry, is that they actually have a sense of rhythm, even within a sentence. You sort of hear it almost like music.
Yeah.
And I found about when I was a writer, I would actually listen to music either right before I wrote or sort of during it. All the time that I wasn't really have to keep this music when I'm actually writing. But I find that music really helps the writing process because it gets mind music that sort of connects to the thing you're writing, and then you have that in your head, sort of, and it ends up translating to the music have to write. It's just in there all the time, so I think it's part of the process. It doesn't quite.
Yeah, that's just what I'm hoping for, is that if I do create something, or a short story or a novel, and I'm specifically good at dialogue, just to hope that the editor, someone would be, you know, kind of just saying, like, wow, like, this part is really good, so you shouldn't think that instead of, like, that's not that's a screen.
Well, hopefully, other people will help you figure that out and figure out what your process of figuring out for yourself what's my best form. I mean, you know, we were together, and then I used to joke that I'd given Terri I took the long version. So I was better at writing out all of one of the pages, and she was better at inventing and, you know, writing in certain points. So I just really my best form, and it took a lot of error and failure and rejection. You know, people didn't like the way you did that.
Yeah.
So I listening to rejection and going, that doesn't mean I was a writer. It might just mean that I shouldn't be writing. That's not great. Also, not a good plan from a business perspective. That market has dried up. But yeah, it's kind of just paying attention to feedback and realizing it's not telling people something, it's just telling you maybe more. You have to translate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You guys, you need to tell me what to expect. And you end this session.